Things are starting to move really fast.
No, how is he so fast? How is he so
What? On our server, GrandLineMC, where today we're finally getting into the devil fruits, the faction system, the bounty system, and much more. And we even have our first players conquering the islands.
Who's gonna stop you?
Nobody.
And this is what, our third or fourth devlog? And trust me when I say, by the end of this video, we will have ended up with something pretty substantial, so please stay tuned. But without further ado, let us get started today. So the first and probably simplest devil fruit we'll be working on is the flame fruit. For example, the main ability, we can just have summon a fireball when you right click. And I already have that set up basically. And I'm thinking as passive abilities, you can have perma fire resistance, fire aspect on your main hand weapon, and double jump. But for the secondary ability, I don't really have an idea of what to put for that yet. Please write in the comments if you have any ideas for this. And if you're wondering how I'm gonna do the right click detection, so the go-to way in Minecraft for right click detection is carrot on a stick and warped fungus on a stick. So these are basically gonna act as the primary ability and secondary ability. So for the flame fruit, when you right click the main ability, you will summon a fireball. And we can make these textures a little more stylish. So when you join the servers, we're gonna have a texture pack. And these are the retextured versions of the carrot on a stick and warped fungus on a stick. It's like a red fist and it's like a green fist. And now I could summon some fireballs. And for the double jumps, I landed on a plugin called Infinite Jump, and yes, it does support infinite jumping, not just double jump. For finding plugins, I go to spigotmc.org, basically my go-to. This is where I find all my plugins. So I got the double jump feature working, and I got the fire resistance feature working. So basically the system is when you eat the devil fruit, it adds a tag to you, and then it detects whoever has that tag is going to be affected with fire resistance and given the double jump permissions. And I have this one retextured, so it actually looks like a flame. Spoiler alert for the next devlog. I go into more detail about this. Let's see what happens when I eat this. And I get fire resistance right after I eat this. Now I could summon some fireballs. And I also get double jump. And for the devil fruits, we are going to have a base texture of the gum fruit, and the texture is going to be on the pumpkin pie texture. So we're going to be replacing the pumpkin pie with a devil fruit, and this is me making it in GIMP. And then I also added the feature that if you eat 2 devil fruits, you will get killed, because that's how it works in One Piece. As of now, all the devil fruits are going to be looking like a gum fruit, but eventually we're going to separate the textures out, having a different texture for each one of them. The next thing we're going to take a look at is the safe zones and the technology behind that, basically. So up to this point, the team system we have is Better Teams, and the most cohesive plugin that works with Better Teams for claiming is Ultimate Claims. So we have 2 different plugins for this, and Ultimate Claims is interesting because you place down a chest, and putting items in that chest prolongs your claim period. But that's an interesting technology, but it's not exactly ideal because I wouldn't want for someone to make a base and then come back a year later and find that their base is ruined. I would like it so that people can come and join and play whenever they like, and the progress is basically saved. So it seems like with the need for a team system, a claim system, and a power system, these all point to one solution that can satisfy all of these, and that's factions. So I think we're going to go ahead and use a factions plugin instead. So I landed on the plugin SabreFactions, and the good thing with that is very customizable, and it has the F maps, which is almost essential for what I'm trying to accomplish. So the F map system is the whole premise of seeing where you are on the map, whose claim are you in, whose claims are around you, and seeing what claims you have. The cool thing I would like to show is the F map. So if you type /F map or /crew map, you get to see like the chunks around you and which faction owns those chunks. And when you move around, the map can update. See? So the main things I was looking for a factions plugin was, 1, it has to be free, and I want the option to have TNT and griefing disabled in certain faction claim chunks. However, have PvP enabled in those chunks. And I also wanted the ability to alias /faction with /crew because this is a One Piece server after all. So I'm going to take a quick second to explain the F power system. So each player has a maximum power they can get. In our case, we're going to have a maximum of 20 power. And for every power you have, that represents a chunk that you can claim. So if you have 15 power, you can claim 15 chunks. The power of the faction is the combined power of all the players. And a chunk can be overclaimed by another faction if the faction has less power than chunks claimed. So if a faction has 20 chunks claimed and they actually have 19 power, some other faction can come over and overclaim one of their chunks. If you die, you're going to lose some power. And being online slowly increases your power up to 20. And now we're going to discuss the bounty system. So this is the current system I've cooked up. If a pirate kills someone, they will earn their bounty, but it's not exactly redeemed yet. The player must take their head to the bounty building at the center of the map in order to earn the reward.
Let's say I kill someone with 1500 bounty. That means my earned money is going to be 1500 bounty. So if I have the player head of that person, then I go over here, the bounty entrance, I get paid. Kind of janky the way it does it, but it does pay me more or less. So that's kind of how it's set up right now.
Some issues with the system. The head itself is inherently worthless, and selling the head on the auction house, for example, is no good. Only the person who got the kill can redeem the bounty, and that bounty amount is added to your bank balance. On top of this, your own bounty will also increase. So it'll increase by 1/4 times whatever the person you killed's bounty was. For example, if you have a bounty of 1,000,000 berries and you kill someone with a bounty of 1,000,000 berries, your new bounty is 1.25 million berries. And of course, when you die, you're basically resetting, so your bounty goes down to 0. And I used a bunch of scoreboards to set this all up, basically.
The logic for combining bounties, like scoreboard, layers, operation, say jumbo slime, for example, bounties plus equals, and then you could do another player, say Lego Man, bounties, and I have a separate scoreboard for what a quarter of their bounty is. So it's constantly being updated in accordance to what their actual bounty is. So 1/4 of their bounty gets added to your bounty.
I also want to give an honorable mention to a plugin that I tested out. It's called Not Bounties. So this is a plugin where players can pool money onto the head of other players. So they basically crowdsource the bounty of other players. But we're not going to use this plugin for the bounties themselves. We have our own system going on.
However, I'd still like to try to implement this somehow
because they have wanted posters, as you can see here. Obviously, wanted posters are extremely cool and I would love to get them onto the server eventually, but it is going to take some time for me to figure out how to combine the plugin with the bounty system I already have set up via the data pack. So stay tuned for that. That could happen in the near future. So with that being said, we can check off another item on our MVP list. So what comes with the bounties is the all-time bounty tracking. So this is how we're going to track who is the king of the pirates. So inherently those numbers are within its own vanilla scoreboard, but I wanted a command to display it to any user that wants to see it. So I downloaded my command plugin and I registered /all-time bounties. And doing that command will show you the list of the top 10 highest all-time bounties.
And this top 10 list is sorted with a plugin called AJ's Leaderboards.
So after that, I decided I wanted a hologram in the spawn displaying the top 10 bounties. And I tried doing it with command blocks and it's very hard. So I ended up landing on the plugin Decent Holograms. So that plugin really meshes well with AJ's Leaderboards.
And it uses Placeholder API to grab all the data. And Placeholder API is going to be a really useful plugin for pretty much everything on this server.
So with that, we can check off all-time bounty tracking from the MVP. I realize first-time players may be confused, and not everyone who joins have seen the Devlog series or knows the rules of the server. So I made a guidebook that they receive when they spawn in. And I made this guidebook with a Minecraft book generator I found online.
So right when you spawn into the world, you do get this guidebook to look at. And also when you spawn in as a pirate, you get the guidebook again. And you could just read through it. Welcome to GrandLineMC, and it basically says all the rules, all the how to play, all the limitations, and how to start a faction. Everything basically you need to know.
And since the server got more and more plugins and got more beefier, I decided to upgrade the amount of RAM I have, so I switched to a new server provider, and that is called SparkToast. And I like SparkToast because they have a lot of options. They're denoted by their own planets, and there's many options for various combinations of amount of RAM and amount of storage and compute power. And the customer service has been absolutely phenomenal for me so far. With that being said, I do have a referral link for anybody who wants to use SparkToast, and you guys can get a discount when you use my link. So that will be in the description. And of course, this goes towards funding the One Piece server. The next thing I added was server monetization, and the go-to method for this is using Tebex. And so Tebex sets up basically a store for you online, and there's also an in-game plugin that's linked to that store. So /buy will take you to the menu to donate to the server. Okay, so this is the Tebex page for the server. This is what it looks like right now. We have our little donation goal here, our little description, our little banner, our logo. If we go to packages, that's like the only button I have right now. You can see all the packages. And we do need donations. I don't have a choice in this matter. We do need donations because this server costs money to run. So there's an overhead each month that I have to pay to keep the server up. So donating will help keep the server alive. So some of the initial packages I came up with were just bounty boosts. So basically you can donate and then you're gonna get your bounty increased. Of course, that's going to make you a bigger target, but you also get some extra prestige. Of course, I don't know if these packages are going to be permanent, and I would like some other ideas for some other packages. So maybe a new devil fruit that you can introduce or something else. I would like some ideas. So if you guys have any ideas for like some donation perks, please drop them in the comments. Of course, if you can't donate, but you still want to support the server, feel free to just like the video to boost it in the algorithm. And so maybe someone else can donate. So that checks off server monetization off our MVP list. And this is a more fleshed out look of the MVP list and the solutions that I've come up with for each one. And I also checked off anti-cheat, so I got a plugin called Grim Anti-Cheat. Hopefully that can do some good. And for the banking / shop, I used Essentials X, Vault, and Economy Shop GUI Premium, which I had to pay for in order for it to work with NBT items like the pirate ship. Just a reminder, we also have the Haki system up and running. So for offense, attack potency, I'm using just data pack logic because that can be done with straight vanilla commands. And for the defensive capabilities of Haki, I needed to get AuraSkills, the plugin, for that to work. So I have data pack logic that adjusts how strong you are and how durable you are based on the Haki level you have. So the next thing I needed to figure out was how to ban craftable items. So turns out I could use /recipe for this, and when you spawn into the world, you can no longer craft pistons, sticky pistons, slime blocks, honey blocks, and TNT. You have to buy those from the shop. And in terms of banning Minecraft features in general, I turned off the nether and the end, and I also turned off phantoms. On top of this, I made it so right-clicking beds does not change your spawn point, and this also applies to respawn anchors. So if you die, you're always going to respawn back at the spawn area. So with that, we can check off banning items from the MVP list. Another really easy devil fruit idea I can come up with is the cat fruit model leopard, and this is Rob Lucci's devil fruit. So I guess it has super simple mechanics. So I guess for the main ability, we can do a speed and strength boost for 10-15 seconds. And the secondary ability, we can give him a jump boost. So just generic boosts, not anything crazy. Could also add some yellow particles. This is like the simplest version of the devil fruit powers that we're going to be rolling with for now. So this is the demonstration of the cat fruit model leopard. So we have our little glowing chest boats where the devil fruits come out of. And we have the lore. So we don't have a passive ability right now. We have speed and strength boost as our main, and our secondary is a jump boost. So if I were to, so now when I eat this, I now am tagged with the cat leopard fruit. And now I have this main and secondary abilities. So this gives me speed and strength boost. And then this one gives me jump boost. If you right click. So the devil fruits spawn in chest boats that are glowing, and they spawn in random location. So you open the chest and you get your devil fruit, and then you eat the devil fruit. If I was in survival mode, it would consume it. So let's just pretend I consumed it. Of course, you have your abilities now. Let's say you die with the devil fruit powers.
you are going to respawn, and boat is going to come spawning back in. There you go. The boat comes spawning back into the world after you die, and we can find it right here, and it has the same devil fruit. So that's pretty much how it works. I'm gonna go ahead and buy a Pacifista. So let's see what the Pacifista does. So this is basically an iron golem retextured. And if I go into, if I get a little further away, go into survival mode, it'll start coming after me instantly. And then it's hard to outrun. So this thing is auto aggro towards all pirates instantly, and you don't even have to touch it. It can detect you from like 100 blocks away, and it has super speed and super strength, and it has 1000 HP. So good luck trying to kill it. But if you do manage to kill this guy, you will be rewarded with some extra Haki, which will make you stronger. And you may notice at the bounty house there is a bunch of spawners here, and these are marine spawners. So marines are basically zombie pigmen, but retextured. And killing them they will drop gold, of course, since they're zombie pigmen, and you will get an increase on your bounty, as you can see on the scoreboard on the right. So with this all being said, I am proud to announce that the MVP is pretty much done. So this means you guys can all join the server right now and start a crew and claim land and make your base. So we got C Dizzle over here, our first player. What's up?
Yo.
Anything to say to the audience?
I'm going to be king of the pirates.
Who's gonna stop you?
Nobody. Look at this house. Look at this base.
Already off to a fire start, bruh.
Obviously. Just wait.
You gotta get your Haki up, bruh. Someone's gonna kill you.
No, I know. Just wait. I've gotta analyze the chart, see what's the best way to get money on this server. Maybe growing pumpkins.
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand. This guy knows money.
Alright, I'm doing a cinematic right now. Just like zoo.
B-roll. Oh my god, I gotta fucking die. Holy shit. Oh wow. Okay. Dude, why am I not regenning hearts?
Are you not? Okay.
No.
Are you full hunger?
Yes. Dude. I think it's something broken though. Like, bro.
Actually.
Yeah. Can you just like give me health?
Yeah. Did it work?
Thanks.
And one last thing before we go, I will be live streaming in the next week, so please subscribe to like catch that stream. And if you made it this far, just drop a like, drop a comment, just drop some ideas of what you think for the server, and join the Discord too, because in the next probably sometime late September or October, we're going to have a grand opening style event where we're going to have a competition of sorts. We're going to give away prizes, and we're going to make a banger video out of that. If you haven't seen the rest of the devlogs, I'm going to put a playlist right on the screen, and the next devlog 4 is going to be about custom devil fruit textures. We're going to look into data packs that already exist. We're going to address the enchanting issue, and we're going to introduce a couple more devil fruits. So that video is going to be on the screen right here, and if it's not, then just subscribe and you'll see it soon. But that's pretty much it, and hopefully I can catch you guys on the live stream.